Right guys, hi. I literally have no idea what I'm doing, but I thought I might wear my Flight Centre Berlin t-shirt just in, honour of everything. And I'm going to cook something, so I'll see what I've got in the fridge. There's obviously no lighting or any form of professionalism going on here at all. I found broccoli though. So let's hope that I don't get a kidney stone. However, I'll also think of, hygiene, so I'm going to put my hair up. What else do I need? I'm just going to talk to you like as if you're in a room, alright? So, I'm going to fry some veggies, because that'll be fun and easy. And since we're all in an apocalyptic kind of Armageddon state of play, I thought I might just find things and cook them. Right, what's next? Okay. Oh, yeah. I got some capsicum. So I found a tomato, a bit of capsicum, some broccoli, which is like hella old, but don't even worry about it. Then, what is that? Onion. And look, Cucina Indooroopilly. Hopefully that's not the wrong way around, but it might be. But that's my branding for the moment. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to cut some stuff up, put it in a pan, see how we go. Right. Bear with me. So what is it about cooking that I want to teach you? Oh yeah, so the idea of this is basically to just cook whatever you got in the fridge, because no one's going to be going out buying truffles and whatnot, because hey, coronavirus is keeping us all locked up. That's why this is all about locking down your cooking skills. I'm not sure you can even see me, but it's not about me, it's about the food. All right, it's really weird to talk to a camera when there's no one there responding, or no one here to tell me to stop talking, which is more often than not the case. What else is happening in your life? Hope you're all well. I'm just chopping up some garlic, right? Not very fancily, just rough. 2 cloves, why not? Felt like that. If you like garlic, use more. If you don't like it, use a little bit. There's no option to not use it if you ask me, because hello. #WogKid. What else? Onion. I probably won't use this whole onion because that might be a bit OTT. Right, so the good thing about this, what I'm doing, is you can use whatever veggies you want. So we got onion, we got garlic, and I'm going to use this old leftover piece of capsicum. I'm cutting it up I don't know, just however I feel like. I'll cut it in cubes. Yeah, is that cubes? Probably. What else is happening in the world? So there's no one on the roads today. I went for a walk earlier. Went to the hairdresser actually, because the 30 minutes got revoked, and I thought, well, in case I need to go to a job interview anytime soon, I better get my hair did. What else? I hope you're all right with everything that's been going on. It's been like a hecker's couple of weeks, as you know. I'm also just dicing up tomato. Now, don't worry, if you don't love tomato, don't stress, because it won't end up tasting like tomato at all. It just kind of cooks right down, and it just becomes a part of the fun, really. Let me get a... Oh, hang on a minute. Oh, shit. I'm just getting something out of the dishwasher, so don't mind me here. Sorry, I forgot to wash this before, so I'll just wash it now real quick. This is honestly, the MTV of cooking here. This is unedited, uncut, totally bloody, what's the word? Unplugged, whatever. So I'm just putting this pan, so it's just a regular fry pan, on the stove. I'll put on the heat. Except I put on the wrong one, so let me sort that out. I'm just going to use some olive oil. My hands are wet, so just bear with me. Bit of a glug of olive oil. This one here, it's probably not my favourite, but it's olive oil. and it'll be fine. So I'm just letting that get a bit warm. Now you can eat this, you could like put this dish, it's not really a dish, it's just things being cooked. Put it on the side of like meat or fish, or on top of, I don't know, with pasta if you want. So I'm just chucking in the garlic and the onion, which, hang on, I'll bring you over so you can have a bit of a look, right? Hang on a minute. How do I do this? God, I don't think I can. That's what's happening there. That's gonna fry for a bit, just till it goes a little bit see-through, I suppose. Like you definitely don't want to burn the garlic and the onion like yet. Later on, if it catches a bit, no stress. But if it catches at the beginning, it'll be just disgusting. So don't let it burn. Now I'm going to cut this. Let me wash it. I'm just cutting this broccoli up like this, as you can see, right? Use the stalk as well. Because it's a bit old, I'm going to have to like kind of peel the stalk though. Which is what I'm doing here. This bit is actually my favourite bit to eat. I usually like to eat it raw, but I'll put it in so you can give it a crack. Yeah, the stalk, man, it's absolutely underrated. It's so good, but it's probably the most, kidney stone inducing if I had to guess. But then again, I'm not a doctor. So you can hear that the thing's cooking. So the idea is as well, guys, I'm going to eventually when I get good at any of this, if that even happens, is like live do it. So that way you can cook along at the same time, because lockdown is going to be fucking boring, let's be honest. So eventually I'll send you the ingredients in advance, but I suppose I didn't even know I was cooking, so that's why I didn't bother this time around. And then that way they can apparently there's scrollies and chats, and we can talk to each other as it's happening, which will be kind of fun, because that's the whole point, not being all by yourself. Right, okay, it's cooking. I'll show you. See, real nice. I'm quite happy about that. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to add some salt. Hang on, I'm going to turn it down a bit. So I had it on full-blown heat, just because I was letting it get hot, but now I'll put it down. So my full-blown heat is 9. So I've just put it down to 7 now, just to go give it some time. So I'll just use your regular salt there. Chuck it in. Don't be shy. I can already hear people going, how much am I supposed to put in? I don't know, just like this much. Now I've got some oregano here. It's my favourite herb, dried oregano, just from the shop, no worries. I'm going to put in about that much, probably twice. Yeah, definitely twice. Excellent. Oh. So that'll start to be nice with the oil. So now I'm going to chuck in these little bits of broccoli that I cut up, and half a tomato that I just diced, because that'll start, I don't know, liquefying a bit. And in fact, I need the rest of this tomato, I've just decided. So, what was I going to say? So yeah, I think it was 2 garlic cloves and half a brown onion. Yeah, that's what it was. And then I'm going to also chuck in the rest of this tomato here, like that, just diced up. Is this the sort of stuff that you want? Because I hope so. I can't obviously hear anything if anyone's answering, so I'm hoping this is kind of what you imagined this to be. So think about all the random stuff you've probably got in your cupboards that you can cook with, because obviously a lot of people got a lot of toilet paper in their cupboards, but that's no use to us here. And if you want any ideas on what should I do with this random jar of beans or whatever, just let me know and I'll see what I can think of. Okay, so as you can see now, Hang on. Oops. That's just doing its thing. And kind of, I don't know if it's caramelizing or something, but it's cooking. And it's getting all liquidy, which is exactly what you want. So as soon as these tomatoes start to like break down, they don't look like pieces anymore, that's when we're gonna add the broccoli and the capsicum here, just because, like I said, whatever you've got will work. You can leave the tomatoes out if you want. There's a couple of other dishes I want to show you later on where like that wouldn't be an option because it's too important. But for this one here, you could just do the veggies with the onion and the garlic. All right, what else? Chit chat. I'm just trying to think. No, I got nothing. I'll be back. So I need to actually learn how to like pause and edit and all that kind of jazz. But for now, this is what we're doing. So see how it's nice and like glistening a bit because of the oil. Again, how much oil I would have taken the bottle and I would have gone like that. That's how much oil I just said to use. These are starting, you can see like oh sorry, you can't probably see anything. You can see-ish, the skin is starting to come off the tomatoes. That's about the right time when you can actually start to put the rest in. So we'll do that now. So I'm just going to chuck all of this in like that. So again, I'm heaps sorry for like the dizziness here. Look, that's how it looks. Perfect, see? So from here, I'm just going to let this do its thing because obviously the broccoli is going to take the longest to cook. Well, I shouldn't say obviously, but that's what will happen because it's the densest and it's also the biggest. So I'm just going to also put in, so far we've seasoned it with salt and oregano. That's all we're going to use. We'll see later, maybe we want to put a bit more salt in, but I'm going to put about that much water. Oh, actually, let me use like a normal person-sized glass. Just so you can see what that is. So, like, there you go. Third of a glass of water-ish if you want. And then you'll hear it like, probably sizzle up first and then it will sort of simmer down. And if it doesn't do that, you might need a bit more water. So I'll show you what I've got. Yeah, see how now you can hardly hear it? That's what you want. So it's just gonna, it hasn't started boiling back up yet because you put in, we ended up putting in I think like, I don't know, 2/3 of a cup of water. So I'm gonna put the lid on now. Bear with me as I do that, hang on. I've got to find the lid because, you know, preparation was obviously key throughout this whole process. Oh yeah, I've got to wash it, hang on. So, I don't know if I asked you guys all individually or not, but if you haven't already thought about it, like, what is your YouTube buff? Because we're all going to have so much time on our hands and it's going to be boring. So I'm looking forward to seeing some randomness occurring. Oops, lid on. I'm going to leave that for like, I don't know, 15 minutes maybe. I might press pause on this. I'll probably have to press stop actually because I don't know anything about technology. And then start again later and somehow join the two. So I'll be back. So far so good, I hope. See you soon. Hey again. Now I've come on over to this and I've taken the lid off and you can see how it's like gone real soft. So I reckon it's been about 5 or 6 minutes. So what you're going to do now, or what I'm going to do anyway, is I'm now going to just take the lid off and leave it off because you don't really want your veggies to stew because if you leave the lid on, they start to get like yeah, all stewy, and it's not right. You want them to sort of dry out a bit and actually start to fry, if you know what I mean. So you've had the lid on for a little bit. That'll soften them. And now the lid off will, yeah, fry them, and that's when you're going to get some real, like, exciting flavours happening. So, as I said, it's been 5 or 6 minutes. Lid off now, probably for about the same amount of time. And I'll come back to you. All right, back with you. So it's probably actually only been another, like, 2 minutes. I probably could have just talked you through the whole way, but, you know, I'm a beginner to all of this. So it's starting to dry out, which is good, but it's not ready yet, because see how it's not sort of charred in any way, state or form. It's not going to go charred as in char grilled. I don't mean that. I just mean it still looks like it's too, like, floppy. So I'm going to turn the heat up a little bit, and then I'm going to put a little bit more oil on the pan and probably a bit more salt. Oops. As well. So just gives a sec. A little bit of oil just so it really starts to fry. And a bit more salt too, because with veggies, I've got a rule that you should season twice, especially potatoes, but that's for another day. I'll chuck a bit more oregano in as well. Now, if you don't like oregano, we need to have a conversation offline. But if you don't, you could use, what could you use? You could probably use, like, fresh parsley. I don't like dried parsley at all. I don't use fresh oregano much, but I use a lot of dried oregano and a lot of fresh parsley in the way that I cook. Yeah, so a bit more oregano. And oregano goes real well with tomatoes, cooked or uncooked, so I think that's probably where it comes from. So I've turned up the heat a bit after as I did this, which is what I think I said I was going to do. So here we have it. It's really starting to, like, fry away now. You can hear it. And this is when the tomato is going to do its job, and it's going to go all nice and sort of sticky or gooey in the bottom of the pan. And typically, I probably wouldn't have done it like this normally. Like, if I'd have planned to make this, I would have decided, right, what am I going to do it with? What veggie do I want? And I probably would have done, like, all one veggie, like all capsicum, like a massive pile of all capsicums. You can saute this capsicums for, like, 40 minutes if you really wanted to take your time. But, like, you'd do it with, like, 6 whole capsicums you just cut into strips. We might do that another day. Or I might just do all broccoli or whatever. So because I just literally decided, like, this morning in the hairdressers to start this whole situation, I didn't go to the shops. I just took whatever was in the fridge. All right, what else? Hang on, let me think. Okay. It's starting to, look and sound correct. It smells real good, by the way. So I went back and had a look, actually. You know how I said in the first place, I took the lid off after like 5 or 6 minutes? It was only like 4.5 minutes, because I started to take note of the time just after I pressed stop on the video. So we'll recap. We chopped up our stuff, onion, garlic, tomato, the broccoli, capsicum. We fried the onion and the garlic in some salt and oregano and oil. Then we added, what was next? Oh, we added the tomato and let it go a little bit soft until the peel started to come off, skin started to come off. And then we added the broccoli, including the stalk. Don't forget it, it's the best. And the capsicum at the same time. Stir, stir, stir. Lid on. 4.5-ish minutes later, lid off. Give it a stir. Oh, we added water before we put the lid on, remember? I think I'm reminding myself more than I'm reminding you, if I'm honest. And then, lid on, 4.5 minutes, lid off. Stir, stir, stir. Wait for it to start sounding like it's frying. Bit more oil, salt, vinegar, oregano, no vinegar. And now here we are. This is where we're up to. And as you can see, you can virtually see no tomato. What you can see there, that's the capsicum, not the tomato. So the tomatoes have gone like down to virtually nothing. So it's starting to sound exactly what you want. And this is when, you remember when I said at the start, it's okay if it catches a little bit? This is now when it's okay to catch, because that's when you're going to get some real good flavour. Yeah, sorry about the camera work, like, there's going to be no Oscar for cinematography on this Cucina Indooroopilly situation at all. What else would you want to know about this? So far it's been, I think it was 15 minutes first video. Now it's been 5 with a few seconds in the middle when I just checked in. So this might be like a 20-minute, no, it's already been 25 minutes altogether from start to finish. And you could always do more than just what's in there, because, you know, it depends how many people you're cooking for. So I'm just going to check it out again, give it a stir. This is where you've got to be careful that it doesn't actually catch is okay, but burn is bad. So let it catch, keep it moving so it doesn't burn. And this is not going to win you like hats at restaurants, obviously. This is like proper, like peasant, war-torn food, which I love, because that's just what home cooking is all about. You know, I saw this guy, I don't know who he was or anything, but I remember he was talking about like the obesity problem in America. And one of the things he said, which stuck with me, was about like the health and well-being of people when they cook versus when they eat out. And he said something like, the rich woman who eats out will never be as healthy as the poor woman who cooks for herself. And whilst this is not, you know, either extreme, it's just, if you just cook whatever is in your fridge, home cooking, it's the way to go. It doesn't have to be fancy, it's easy. And it's what got me interested in cooking when I was a little kid, because I cooked a lot with my grandmother, because she was a cook in a restaurant. So I'm going to put this in a bowl now and see if it tastes any good. Give us a sec. So I can smell it now. It's almost starting to burn, right? That's exactly when you want to turn it off, which is what I've done. I just turned it off. I'm still moving it around in the pan. I'll whack it in a bowl. Hang on, I can probably move this now. Yeah. So, now if you were going to put this with pasta, we would have needed to be a little bit different with the way that we made it more saucy. So, as I said, probably ideal on the side of like a piece of meat or fish, or that it would be really good with like some fried eggs. Which I could have done that actually, because I haven't had breakfast yet, but I'll just eat this instead. So it's like a real, I don't know, just a nice mix. You could put it in the middle of the table if you had, you know, people around. Well, you won't have anyone around, let's be honest, but if you were in like a normal state of affairs, you just put this in the middle. People help themselves, put a little bit on the side of their food, a plate, sorry. So here we go. It's hot. Give us a sec. So good. Yeah. If I had to be critical, I probably could have cooked the broccoli a little bit longer. Oh, and I probably put a little bit too much salt, if I'm honest. So maybe next time, I'll actually pay a bit more attention to measurements. However, you know what? It's war-torn, it's Armageddon, it's lockdown, it's entertaining, and it's delicious. So I hope you've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed it, actually. I didn't know where to start, but I think the key is just to start. So yeah, have a think about your YouTube boff, and let's get this all cranking, because we have a lot of time on our hands, and it's important to stay connected, even though we're not allowed to touch each other. So I'll speak to you soon. I'm going to enjoy this, and thanks for watching. Ciao.